Welcome everyone to another Grandveer demo patch notes rundown. I am the developer of the game Grandveer. It is a mech building roguelite. You can play the demo on Steam and put a bullet in the engagement stats of this video. But today I'm going to do a playthrough and just do a run through of the new stuff that got added into the patch notes and just kind of show off a bunch of cool stuff that's in the game. So at the beginning here, we are in our rest area. I've already built up just the basics of what I want my Grandveer to be with the starting parts, but we've got 12 hours to spend here to kind of mold how we're going to start our entire run. So one of the big things that got added as part of this latest update is some extra vendors are available right off the bat. There's the component vendor and the weapons vendor available immediately. Before you were stuck with the munitions vendor, which is good, but might not be exactly what you're looking for since it doesn't have as many parts in it. So I'm gonna prove that there's a reason I did all this stuff for this update, and we're gonna start by checking out the component vendor and seeing what we've got. One of the best things you can do for yourself early in the game is upgrade your legs. It is a super important part for mobility and can let you dodge a lot of damage. Now the thing is, your starting legs are really bad, and if you can get through one level, the odds of you finding legs are pretty good, and you'll always get a leg offering immediately after finishing that level 2. So it could be tempting to spend a bunch of credits, take out some loans, and buy these legs, but there might be some better options in a torso or a better reactor. And I think I've got my eye set on this better reactor. The starting reactor, if we go to the comparison, is significantly worse. It's got much less heat capacity, the same cooling rate, but heat capacity is what lets us dodge. So I've got my eyes on this reactor, and I think we're going to start off by going over to back to the marketplace. Let's take out this 10k loan, which is great to do for the future of the campaign anyway, so it helps us rebuild or build up some reputation with the marketplace so we can eventually access the broker. So let's just buy a reactor right off the bat. It's cheap. We'd have to take out the larger loan, which means more credits lost to get the legs, and I'm pretty confident that I can do the first mission on the starter legs. But if you don't like that, you can always start the game your own way. That's why there's that many options. Okay, cool. So we've got that. I just want to have a little bit of extra cash. Let's go to modify and real quick find our reactor, swap it out for that new one. And oh, let's almost forgot every time. Let's look cool instead of not cool. And let's see, we've got 10 hours left. Most things cost 3 hours, so I'm probably just going to let's do some groundbreaker aid here and get our reputation up with this faction. It's just going to give us scrap. That's a really good one to get, though. We're going to hold on to this one, but scrap can be sold. And we're going to scrap one more item, scrap our old reactor. Go to this marketplace we unlocked, and let's sell some of this scrap back to the marketplace. They won't buy regular parts unless it's the black market, but that'll help us build up some extra cash. We could take out that 20k loan to get another torso, but let's not be too greedy, I don't think. Unless we want to also check out the weapons vendor, but we'd end up having to buy ammo and spiral out of control, and we probably don't have enough hours to really accommodate that. Alright, cool. Let's see. We got 3 hours left. Let's provide aid one more time. Stock metals, cool. Higher tier scrap, probably worth more credits. Yep, a lot more. Awesome. Alright, we've got a nice bed of cash to pay off our first the loan right when we get to the other region, no matter how much we do in the next level. And we've got a slightly better reactor that's going to let us get an extra dodge in. I'm going to be risky, and I'm going to go to the light industry. Our goal is to get up here to Millennium Fortress, where we will confront the final mission and the final boss and put our build to the test. So I could go into the rain, which is great for if you've got a melee focused build, and maybe I will. The light industry has a lot higher threat level, but a lot better loot level. So I'm going to risk it just because I know I've got that better reactor. I think I can dodge a lot more damage than I normally do. Did I spend all my hours? Okay, just want to make sure I'm not going crazy. All right. This is the meat and potatoes gameplay, if you've never seen it before. Ooh, and that's a bad start. Taking a hit I don't need to. His husk there is going to buy me time to reload. Happy about that. I'm going to tweak my volume real quick. Hopefully you can hear me better over that. Maybe a little bit more before we get into this fight. Uh-oh, I did not keep my ammo well reloaded. It's important in these light industry levels to be very careful about where you retreat, since you might just end up pulling more enemies into combat. Good thing I have that extra heat to dodge away there. I'm just trying to grab as much loot as I can. I've got this field center, which is uniquely one of the repair items that can be used in level. So I'm just trying to grab all the loot I can so I can be as strong as I can for the next level. I'll be able to have a little bit of control over my own loot between levels using stuff like the vendors you saw earlier, but a lot of my stuff is going to end up coming from what I find out here in the missions. Alright. That's looking pretty good. Might not even end up needing that field center. Turn the volume down a little more. Alright. Let's see where we're going. There's a hangar over there, which is just going to have a little bit of extra loot for us. So I'm going to make my way over and grab this extra drop pod. These starting levels are extra small, so that when we're nice and slow, it's not too painful. Okay, good combo. I can take this guy off with my range to prevent taking too much damage in melee. And beat this guy up. Alright. Our threat level is getting really high. You can see those 3 stars underneath our HP stats. But we gotta be careful about that, or we'll end up making these levels a bit too hard off the bat. Okay, I'm gonna make use of this now. The cargo crate is nice, but ultimately not something I'm really looking for, considering I don't even have an upgraded torso to install that special module. Your starting torso, unlike a lot of others, does not have a module slot, which increases the value of finding a torso, even if it doesn't have a special ability. Ooh, a new arm. I'm going to take that since I won't be able to use. Okay. This is a little risky here. To not take the gun. We've got a lot of components. Let's take the gun though. And there's those downsides of the higher threat level, and here's the next wave. These guys are coming to hunt me down. Now, once I do get to the third threat level, and I'm able to deal with it, more or less, it means I've dealt with it, and it's not going to get any worse. Alright, excellent. Well, we already bought a reactor. This gives us an opportunity to have a handheld firearm, which is decent, and we did find an extra arm And I believe we found some legs. Not great legs, but better than starter legs, that's for sure, since everything is better than your starter legs. Let's go with this guy, since we did already find a gun we'd like to use. Okay. Let's unbox our component crates. Ooh, a torso, perfect. No shoulder mount though, which is what I would have liked to see. All right. Well, that's the general gist of a mission. We'll get stronger and better parts, and we'll just get absurdly powerful, but the missions are going to get harder too. So we're just going to be repeating that process until we win or lose, while I talk about the patch notes for the rest of the video. So let's put these new parts we got in. Nothing, haven't bumped into too much stuff that's really had any major changes going on with it. Mainly it's the availability of the shops in the first region. Now these shops also weren't available in the second regions, and now they are too. So we've got access to the component vendor if we wanted to. I think I'm gonna pass just because I found a lot of components in that level. I replaced every single part except my reactor, which is a pretty good place to be. So let's check out the munitions vendor. We need to buy ammo. As you can see, we've got a pathetic amount of ammo left in our side-mounted cannon. Some more melee weapons, but let's pick up the heavy ballistic ammo. That'll go in automatically, top us back up. Let's go to the outskirts and lay low just to keep our threat level down. We'll lose most of our threat level every time we complete a mission, but keeping it extra low prevents it from going higher. And every time we do a mission, the maximum threat level is going to go up, capping out at 5. So it gets even more dangerous to be at higher threat levels the further we go. Nothing I'm really looking for in there. I've got 4 hours left. Well, let's at least get rid of that awkward extra hour here and scrap some of these new parts we got. And I think we're going to have to pay off some loans. Almost forgot. Don't do that. One of changes from last update makes the penalties for not paying these back more extreme. So let's stay on top of that. Now we have enough reputation to afford the broker, which lets us visit all these vendors for cheaper. Now I don't believe we're going to be able to get up to that value, but let's see if we can. We'll sell our scrap. Go to the scrapyard. Scrapyard provides scrap, and it also gives you cash just for scrapping. So I don't think we're going to make it, since I only see 6K, 6.3K available in here. So that's okay. But we don't really have anything else to do since we've already laid low, and we won't really have the money to buy stuff in a shop if we go and visit it, since 10K is kind of more or less the floor, but you usually find things around 20K. So let's go scrap more. And yeah, I don't need to use any of that to actually repair. So close, only 500 credits away. That's a shame. If I didn't lay low, I could have scrapped that arm probably and managed to get the broker, but that's all what the game is about, right? You've only got so many resources, and you've got more things to buy than you have resources to afford. So, all right, let's pick our next region. There's a mountain right there, so we don't have a lot of choice. Another risky light industry, but I think we got a lot stronger compared to what we were before. And it's still starting level. So one of the new parts that was added to the game in this latest update was a set of arms, a tier 1 and a tier 2 version of jaw arms. These are handless armatures, so you won't be able to hold a weapon in them, but they've got a built-in melee attack. Similar to the pile bunkers that were added last update, these guys have... Oh, I'm not used to having a bottomless magazine here. Not really need to be wasting ammo. These guys are kind of a hybrid in between the two. They've got a big, chunky melee attack, but it's not the most... it doesn't do as much damage, but it also doesn't consume as much heat. So it's just a bit more of a all-arounder build. If you want to have a weapon like that, but end up using your heat for a lot of other stuff. it's a good weapon for you. Alright, let's see if we can take out all these enemies. Don't need to take them all the way, just need to get their guns off and focus on these melee enemies who are closing the gap on me. And stay moving so the mortar enemies don't hit me. Lots of stuff going on here. Oh, that was nice. Saved me a bit of ammo. Alright, awesome. I feel like every time I turn down the volume, it goes back up. Turn on just the effects. Might be a little quiet, but hopefully it's better. Okay, big two-handed melee weapon. Unfortunately, we've only got one hand. So, the point of me bringing up the new parts is if I find them, I do want to make an attempt to use them. There's also a new torso type. Hopefully I can find that. And a few other parts have been reworked. So if I spot them out in the field, I'll grab them up so we can see what they're like. And I'll also try to have a build that actually would work with them should we find them. Get some collateral damage on there, save me some ammo. And a nice mortar enemy that I can not have to worry about using ammo to kill. Ah, I'm getting pushed out by all these ranged enemies here. Alright, there we go. Melee is great for taking out lone ranged enemies since it resets their targeting timer when they take melee damage. Alright, we've got another guy coming for us in the distance here. There's some nice upright legs. I like those. Take the trade on that guy just to save the ammo. Not sure how much ammo I'll be looking to actually have. Just because... What if we did this? Alright, we're going to leave our melee weapon behind. Our ammo situation is doing really well, and I'm not planning to stay on this mission for much longer. Alright, we've got him stuck in this choke point here. That's good for us. Enemies work just like the player does. You've got hull and armor and their vitals. So it can, there's a lot of variance in terms of how long it actually takes to kill them, but I think that's part of the fun. It's more or less reliable in terms of what's average, but the damage can end up in a bunch of different spaces. It could end up distributed to the armor, it can end up in the hull. Oh, and there's that one of those new parts that I was just talking about. So let's grab that. Hey, oh, you know what? I want to take the weapon. Okay, cool. So I've got to use it. I found it, so let's see what it can do. Alright, looks like we got out pretty clean here. Threat level didn't hit 4, which is good. That's when the orbital strikes start, and we don't really want to have any business with that right now. We made it out with 37k, which is a pretty strong amount of credits. That's going to let us buy the broker and let us visit all those vendors for free. That's also a great find, especially for our current setup. It's going to let us use our heavy ammo again. So let's modify right away. Put on this new arm, and as you can see, it's a giant crushing jaw. And we're going to see how it works for us as our melee weapon. Let's put on some better legs here. We look hilarious. But there's not much we can do about it. But I'm pretty happy with this new setup. Now we could pivot to medium ammo here, but all we've got on us is this dinky little tier 1 handheld pistol, more or less. So we're not really going to consider that. Let's recruit the broker right now and check out what we've got in the component vendor. I was really hoping for a better torso, but we've only got a side grade available, it looks like. It's got these tiny little modifiers to help it not be useless, so we're always getting stronger, but it's just not quite what I'm looking for. And it looks like ours isn't that bad either. So let's skip that. See what's in premium salvage. Get a regular arm if we wanted one. Really trying to make me switch. But we're definitely going to want to go to the munitions vendor. And let's pick up some heavy ammo. It's a shame that I'm still stuck on this torso. We'll have to go pretty heavy on the component crates next mission. I'm going to skip lying low since I think we're in a little bit better of a spot with these new legs. I think we'll be able to deal with some orbital strikes pretty effectively. We paid off our loan completely. And let's just do some scrapping and get some cash. 10k again. We're at 76% ammo. Could visit the black market and then lay low. I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do. That's a great arm. I'd love to pick that up. Nice and heavy, and lets you wield a lot of two-handed weapons in one hand. So let's grab that and just keep it in our inventory for an eventual transition. Or we could pick up this torso. I should probably do what I've been talking about and pick up this torso. And we only need a little bit of extra credits to do that. Let's see. 2 hours to buy. We're going to lay low. We're going to hit up the marketplace, take out a loan, and go back to the black market. Grab this torso. Not the prettiest torso. And slap that on. We're still going to look silly, but now if we don't find one, we've still got that module port, and if we find a module, we'll be able to get one. Another small thing that was changed was the modules now appear in the general components list. So when you visit the component vendor, you'll now have a chance of getting a module, which is pretty nice. That was previously impossible. Oh, and I didn't even notice this guy has a shoulder port, which will be great for making more loot we find viable. All right. Don't have to worry about those guys too much. Oh, getting sniped. Alright, there's a fun set of sprinter legs there if we wanted to try that. I don't think sprinter legs are too bad, but you definitely want to have a lot higher of a damage profile than I've got right now to make sprinter legs truly effective, since they rely on not being able to dash, but being able to only spend the amount of time you want to spend as a target. So going in and out of cover and circling around a lot. But since we've only got this one gun, oh, and I totally forgot, I need to be crushing people. Ooh, perfect find. Alright, let's put this new melee weapon to the test. So, like I said, it works similarly to the pile bunkers, where it's a two-phase melee attack. Oh, that did not work out for me. I was not timing my dashes super well there. It's got the initial punch, but if you keep the weapon group held down, it'll do a second hit as it clamps the jaw. It's a bit higher commitment, less than the pile bunker, but it just lets you get some extra damage. Oh man. Give him the claw. Alright, sick. I know I dropped some stuff over here in my rush. I'm gonna leave those nice legs behind and get moving. I'm pretty happy with this loadout, so there's not too much we can do about staying. I like that reactor. It's the high cooling rate variant. Oh, and I forgot about the side objective we've got on this mission, which is unfortunately going to make it take a bit longer. And we're going to do a lot more than we originally intended. There's these little anti-air Granviers running around, shooting down enemy air forces, and we're going to teach them a lesson here. Alright. Who's next? Alright, we got to take out all 3 of these targets. You can see the objective in the upper left. That was the first one, and there's 4. Once we do that, we'll get some resistance air support on every one of our missions, which is nice for just saving a little bit of ammo, because they'll do some damage for us. Man, I'm used to the extra range you get out of the pile bunkers. Now the pile bunkers are a super strong weapon. It can generally finish off enemies all on their own. You don't really need to soften them up. The jaw arms are a little different than that. They don't do enough damage to finish stuff off. And you'll see as I walk up to this guy and give him a punch, he's not dying in 1 hit. It's going to take me 2. And your reward for doing less damage is a little bit of extra heat. So if you want to rely on dashing a lot more and softening enemies up on the gap close, these guys are kind of a middle ground for you, whereas the pile bunkers are just going to be overkill. Take out this other side objective on the way. Alright. What do we got going on over here? Hopefully not too much. That's probably going to be the other drop pod. What are these guys doing? Your knees are shaking. There we go. And again, I'm doing great on ammo. No module to be found like I wanted to, so I could slot into my module slot, but that shoulder cannon is going to be great for us. Unless we want to switch to this other torso here, but we'll see. Ooh, even better torso. 2 even better torsos. This guy doesn't have a shoulder mount, but he can be upgraded to have one, so that's what I'm going to go with. And if you're ever curious what can be upgraded, it's always in the description. Alright. As a very part-focused update, it can be tough to stay focused on what the new content is when it's kind of RNG in terms of what content I find. I could have done a carryover part to make sure I had something other than the jaw arm, but I'll be real, the reworked parts are super strong, and it would be a lot of me breezing through these levels with these super OP late game reworks, especially for the RHX series of legs, whose dash got way more powerful than it was before, which is fun, but don't want to give too much of a distorted view of what the gameplay's like. And a lot of this stuff is quality of life too, like Berserker plumes, if you know that part. Their cooldown will now reset at the beginning of every level. Before, you were kind of stuck with it starting to charge up, which isn't very fun when you intend to use them immediately on some levels that throw you into the combat right away. Man, I'm getting showered with torsos. I definitely want to upgrade. Well, no, I don't want to upgrade. This guy's a great melee complementing torso. We do a bit of melee, but I think I'd rather stay nice and well-rounded. So I'm just going to take the highest tier thing so I can sell it for some extra cash. All right, a rocket. This is the side-mounted, not the shoulder-mounted. Okay. Let's collect our free ammo from the resistance. Oh, but wait. Let's see what we've got in the shop. This is a two-handed weapon. We'd have to find an arm to use that, so that's not ideal. We've already got a tier 2 shoulder cannon, so that would be a bit redundant to buy. But there are some decent melee weapons in here, but I do want to focus on using the nice crab arm. Ooh, that's good. But I don't have a barbarian to single-hand this two-handed weapon. Alright, well, let's just get straight into modifying. Alright, we finally got a normal-looking torso. We're still kind of funny because we've got this gun arm. But we haven't found anything to really throw into that other slot. Let's go straight to the mechanic, modify. Let's get our shoulder port here. Alright, cool. Now we can rely, let's do this. Since we've got a bunch of cash, we're going to rely on our shoulder cannon as our main ranged armament. And we're going to grab just another arm while we're here. 20k. Let's just pick it up. It's going to be essentially an extra inventory or hand slot for us to be walking around with and carry an extra piece of gear out with us, not necessarily our main weapon. Oh, let's put that new reactor in. I love forgetting to do that. Okay. Let's take our... We're definitely going to want heavy ammo, so let's get our resupply on heavy ammo. Check our controls. Cool. Fire that with 3. And now if we come across a one-handed ranged weapon, like a pistol, we've got a slot to put it in our mission. We won't have any ammo, so there's not really any point. But it just gives us access to that extra slot to carry something around. We've got 5 hours left. We could visit the black market again and lay low. Laying low will not, unfortunately, give us the... Buying from the black market takes 2 hours. So if we lay low, we won't be able to buy anything. So that's not worth it. And also, as of last update, the item quality in the black market was brought down a little bit. So there are 3 items that were as good as they were before, and then 3 of the items, so there's a total of 6, are weaker than they were before. So we're going to pass that one up. And think about probably building a bunch of cash. What do we got here? Yep, let's just build up a cash stack. And we'll use this to repair instead of selling it. Much more efficient to do hull than armor, but that's okay. And we will lay low so we can keep tearing it up on every level. Alright. Let's see what we've got. We have the artillery support now, or not artillery, air support now, which is good. Our new reactor is cooling focused instead of capacity focused, which means we can be a lot more aggressive in our heat usage as long as we don't feel like there's a huge combat coming up. That's a great loot to get from these guys. Field Center is the absolute best in terms of... Okay, let's start shooting here. In terms of scrap, you can find it in mission, since it lets you actually use it in a mission. Alright, glad I went with the shoulder cannon. I think it's a big upgrade over the weapon we were using before. Awesome. Alright. Do a little bit of a walk here and figure out what's going on. We could go do that side objective, which is pretty tempting. Especially considering I think we're actually pretty strong. I could do with a stronger offhand armament for our right hand here. But it feels a little awkward to rely so much on a shoulder cannon. But I think it's going to work. Alright, we'll use that probably after we complete the side objective over here. This is called the listening post, and it's usually tucked away in a corner, and it's much easier to find since the Fog of War rework. But it's going to let us pick what we want from our supply pods. In a very broad sense, that means we'll have a couple of categories. We can spend 3 hours at a rest area to swap one of the 2 items in there between. So I have a feeling what I'm going to end up doing is picking handheld weapons, because we are looking for one to fill up my right hand and haven't been getting lucky so far. Whoa. Alright, hopefully this can get reloaded before the next wave comes down. Alright, and we're fully reset. Awesome. We just have to stay in this circle while this charges up. And let's take out this guy. He's the scariest of the group. Awesome. We're doing really well. Our offhand is not quite meant for punching, but the high commitment involved in swinging the jaw arm can sometimes leave you open for some follow-up attack. So I like to have something just in case I overestimate the damage, which happens a lot since it's pretty random. Well, now we could go double jaw arm, which is probably what I'll end up doing. I'd love to get another shoulder cannon if we're going to try that. But between 2 jaw arms, we should be able to dash forward and bite the heads directly off of our enemies without much fanfare. Oh, let's put this on here. Armor's my bigger bar, so repairing by percentage-wise, it's going to let me take the most, or it's going to repair the most points of damage for me. So that's why I went with armor. And both of them offer protection equally, for the most part, that you can account for. So repairing one isn't any more worth it than the other. It's really the size of the bar that matters the most, since you're not doing a flat repair, you're doing a percentage repair. Alright, lots of stuff going on over here. Let's see what we can do. It's a mortar enemy. Let's see if I can take him out without using any ammo. Not that I'm doing poorly on ammo either, but this shouldn't be a problem. Hopefully our airstrike can soften those guys up. Awesome. Always nice to get an enemy pinned up against a wall where they can't dash backwards on you. Just some healing parts. Those rifle enemies really pack a punch, so I don't like messing around with them. But those twin cannon enemies are pretty weak. That's a starter tier cannon, so don't have too much to worry about there. Awesome. Chomping down. So when I'm in the next level and I'll be swinging with 2 of those, the likelihood of me taking them out is going to be pretty high, I feel like. Alright. Well, let's just take those plates. This is a shoulder cannon, isn't it? It is. Awesome. That's going to be good. So next level, we can take our hard-earned cash and buy another shoulder slot, or upgrade our current torso for an extra shoulder slot, and then have 2 ranged weapons on our shoulders and 2 melee weapons for our arms, which is going to be great. Normally, I wouldn't do this since I'm actually pretty happy with the loot that I've got, but I kind of just want to build up a big credit stack, and I'm feeling pretty strong right now, so we're just going to push through. Especially because our threat level is so low. Thanks for the softening. New reactor. Not any better than the one we have, so I'm not going to take it, but I definitely don't need those legs. I like what I've got. They're tier 1, and those legs are all, or sorry, my equipped legs are tier 2, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, and all that's tier 1, so gonna leave it behind. That's interesting, but I'm gonna have to leave it. That's a arm-mounted gun. That's all that arm can do is shoot that gun. But we want to go for double claws, I think. So we're going to take that. Man, if I had some of the new parts, you would not be watching this right now because I'd be zipping by. But hopefully we can get lucky on the loot roll. One of the reasons I decided to go with a market-focused run this game is to have a higher likelihood of finding some of the new parts that were added, since it's not a lot of core features that we're guaranteed to encounter. Alright, open up our crates. What's inside? That's incredible. That's also very good. Okay. What do we want to do with this? Well, we're definitely modifying. So let's pay our 6 hours. Double claw arms. Modify parts. Give us our extra shoulder joint. Put that guy on right there. Put in the cooling block. We're going to have a lot of cooling now. Do we have a tier 1 reactor? No, we've got tier 2. Alright, we're all good. Let's see. Oh my gosh, I had a loan? That's bad. Alright, well, that's good. We've made a full payment, we're back in their good graces, and it's great timing too, because I desperately needed ammunition. Okay, that was scary. Feeling the consequences of my own updates there. Increasing the reputation penalties for not paying back your loans. But I think I probably only missed 1, maybe 2 rounds. I'm not too sure. Probably 1 round, because I probably needed to pay like 2,500 and I was down maybe 2. I don't know. But it's okay. We're going to recover from this. Unfortunately, we won't be able to pick our drop because of something I did that I have lost track of, unless we want to hire some groundbreakers, and we don't really have the money to be doing that. So let's tune up, maybe? No, we can't do that. We need scrap. That's what we're doing. We're scrapping. Alright, we got to build our money up. Unfortunately, due to my lack of good financing, we're in a bit of trouble. I think I want to use these to repair. I do like the idea of getting some extra legs and these better arms, but we're on tier 1. We don't need to be that greedy. Alright, what we've got isn't that much worse. Alright, glad I used that to repair. That's all our hours, right? Yep, okay. Let's see. This gives us free ammo. This eliminates the orbital strike. It's always dangerous. I'm gonna deal with the orbital strike, I think, for the rest of the campaign. I like going to light industry. It's got a lot higher loot level, and the orbital strike side mission, not really side mission, main mission, doesn't have. Yeah, we're looking cool. One of the nice perks of this torso I'm using is it's got extended view range. So as you saw, that guy was kind of going on with his life, none the wiser that I was coming to clamp him. Because I can see him and he can't see me. Oh, that hurt really bad. You know what? I just need to stop being so greedy on my ammo. And I still need to go back and loot that other point. What do we got in here? Oh, one of my favorite weapons. I used this in the last video. If you want to see what is essentially a gun lance in action, highly recommend you check out Granveer 090 patch rundown. It should just be the previous video uploaded. But Great weapon, hybrid melee, hybrid range. I'd love to be able to find a lance this update. They got a small, or regular lance, and some of the new legs. They synergy awesome with the continuous boost dashes that the RH series of legs got updated to have. Super easy to just be a jousting god. Let's see if I can get this guy to clamp. Oh, don't want to get in the way of my own artillery. Chomp. Alright, let's go chomp on some buildings. This is just one of those tiny little side objectives. Destroy the checkpoint. That's going to get me some extra credits. At the cost of course, whatever enemies I need to face by blowing all this stuff up. Sometimes they're not worth doing, just because they add a whole bunch of threat that you don't want to deal with. Good thing I've got that extra heat regeneration on this build here. Gave me enough heat to dodge out in time. Oh, he survived. This guy will not be so lucky, I hope. Alright. What do we gotta do next? Looks like we're just gonna go see what's inside that hangar. And here's just a regular threat 2 bombardment, nothing to worry about. But it looks like the next wave of enemies is coming for us. Ooh, missed a lot of the nice shots there, but nothing I can't clean up. You know what? This is a dangerous spot to be in, I think. Yep. Why would that be, I wonder? My spidey sense was tingling. There was definitely a lot of enemies behind me. I subtly heard the footsteps, I swear. But it looks like we're going to be okay making it out. As long as we didn't get hit by that claymore, it's not too bad. Okay, but it looks like we did provoke the aerials, or the orbital strikes on us since we've hit threat level 4. And that team of 3 was probably the hunters that spawned at level 3. Oh, jeez. Bad timing on my part. Always remember to check your surroundings before looting. The airstrikes will be kind enough to not destroy you, but enemy Grandvirs will not. I kind of just have to leave that behind, as sad as it is. And I'm not going to use that. Looks like my fire rate is a bit desynchronized here between these 2 shoulder cannons. I've got a big leg upgrade. Should just save us some heat on the dashes. Which is good. Alright. Teamwork with the airstrike. Hopefully I can take this guy out without using any ammo. There we go. Uh-oh. I did hit threat level 5 though, but I think these double shoulder cannons are kind of super powerful for us here. See ya. Looks like I took out his torso vital that prevents him from being able to rotate. Alright. Once we hit threat level 5, we just need to dodge the bombardments, but it's not going to get that much worse. So I'm going to risk it and just start picking more fights. Try and build that credit base up even further. So we can find some cool stuff in the shops. Ironically, It'd probably be really bad for us if we grabbed one of the new parts that got added, which is a nice torso with a built-in flamethrower. It would absolutely demolish our ability to fight at range. And but it would make us look really cool. Should have repaired my armor, would have been a lot more value. We are heavily reliant on our shoulder cannons here. I don't think we would have been able to complete this level if we didn't have them. We would have had to have some other ranged weapon since we've just done so much fighting. So I'm kind of scared to see them go if we do find that new torso. I'd want to find some other arms to give us some better options. Same torso we have without the shoulder joints, which is not a very impressive find. Okay, we know we need to buy ammo. Let's see what's in the crates. Oh, a big axe. Ooh, and here's one of the new torsos. It's got a single shoulder joint. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. Let's see what we can do. Okay. If I can get that arm. Oh, there it is. And we're kind of caught in a bit of a crossroads here. This is the crocodile, and it's just a fire-breathing torso, which is awesome. However, if we take that, we'll have no ranged capabilities. We are able to buy 2 arms, and we could pick up the gun lance as our ranged option. It's only one-handed, so we'd actually only need 1 arm. So we'd have a claw arm, a gun lance, and a fire-breathing torso, abandoning our double shoulder cannons for the ability to breathe fire, which many might say is highly worth it. Now, on the other hand, we did just get this awesome torso that would synergize really well with the new RH series of parts. So this guy, previously, you've seen him before, he's got the thruster on his back that reduces the cost of all dashing. With the update, it adds a shoulder mounted mount version of this torso that gives you a little bit extra flexibility in terms of this part. So now we've got the same strong part you know and love with its dash heat generation reduction and these heavy the ability to mount shoulder cannons onto it. So let's see what we have to do here. We're about 10K behind because of my massive mismanagement of our finances. So we're in a bit of trouble. And we'd really like to lay low. So what can we do with 45K? 45K, we need 50K just to do that. We could take out another 30K in loans. So I think we'd be okay. I think we can buy this torso if we wanted to. You know what? Oh no, we already modified. Good. Let's get that out of the way. You know what? I gotta do what's right, and I gotta buy the crocodile. Let's not mess around and pretend like that's optional. Give me this guy. And now we need to raise back up to 50K, which we can take both loans out to do. There we are, in all its fire-breathing glory. Let's see if we can tweak our colors a little bit and mute the intensity of this gold. Something a little bit more subtle, maybe. There we go. Not as blinding, but still nice and strong in saturation. Cool. Let's save that. All right. And now we need to get an arm and a lance. So we go back to the marketplace, apologize for our terrible financial decisions, make more terrible financial decisions. And I really like that ghrelin. Let's buy that. Let's buy that. We're not doing too bad. Thankfully, this is light industry, so we didn't have to spend too much time on our purchasing of, or our modification. Whoa. We are a crocodile ballerina. Cool. I like to do a custom paint job on this guy real quick. Boop. Boop. Just to get a little bit of extra contrast between my own build. Alright. We look hilarious. And we definitely need to buy some ammo for that. But it's okay. It's a resistance resupply. Everything's coming together. 50% ammo. Should be pretty good. What's the ammo efficiency on this guy? I don't know if you can actually get that modifier. No, just damage boost, which is in effect ammo efficiency. We're definitely going to lay low. We need that bad. Okay, we've got 3 hours. We could stay on top of our massive debt. Or we could do some scrapping and have enough money to definitely buy, even with all of our debt, in the next round. But we've only got one more mission before... Oh, no, there's 2 more before the finale. Oh, man. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay. Let's think about this again. Let's get strategic. Okay. We could scrap for... I want to hold on to this torso, just in case we find the legs that pair with it really well. And we could make pretty much 12k. About. Closer to 13. We can make 13k back. That would let us definitely buy ammo next round. And pay off our debts. And maybe check all the shops. What do we got? Do we have a component vendor coming up? We got a component vendor coming up there. Weapons vendor there. Weapons vendor all the way out. Which isn't good. If we want to find those legs. So, but what that does mean is that no amount of credits is going to help us get those legs. So we're going to go over here, modify our supply drops, and show me legs. So now we are going to see 4 more supply drops if we get lucky, at least 2 over the course of the next few missions. And they're definitely going to be legs. So we have a higher chance of getting those cool new legs that I've been talking about. Let's check our controls here and make sure we're capable of breathing fire. Cool. And I just want to make sure we have the stronger version of our arms here. It's definitely this one. All right. Let's take the Starling into our inventory and see what we can find in the next region. We've done a really good job of heading through the resistance hubs, which are the resistance cells, which give us some extra ammo. Heck yeah. All right. Stay away. Alright. Kind of makes our little crab arms obsolete, but it's fun, so who cares? We are in danger, and I really hope you don't have to see the end of a run here. Alright, using our melee capabilities. Oh my gosh. This level's always crazy. Tends to start like this. But I think we've made it through. Alright. Let's get some of that loot that I was talking about. Hopefully we can find both drop pods and get a better chance at finding the new legs. Oh, reworked legs. Oh, you think you can dash away? Think again. That's the Mark supply pod. Oh man. A lot more attention than I'd like to have right now. Let's duck into cover and see how much heat we can get back before anyone wants to do anything about it. Looks like one of the enemies is drifting away, which is what we want to see. See ya. Oh my gosh, he was durable. Almost got a shot on me. Use the lance the way it was intended. Now this torso is a little bit far behind. We're kind of straddling tier 3 and tier 2 right now. Definitely mostly in on tier 3, but I'd probably say like 60-40. So it can be a rough spot to be forcing a torso like this that is essentially tier 1, but it's fun, as you can see. Alright, let's see what we got in here. We're looking for RH3, but honestly I'll take RH2 legs too. The Dantiles and the Rentiles, I believe. Oh, well, those are really strong legs. Take those regardless. Those are the kind of previous kings of mobility, I would say. The Locust legs. But that should change soon. Let's take that with us, just in case we do end up switching. We'll want to have that shoulder gun with us. Okay, no luck on seeing the on our drop pod. It is important to keep in mind that the flamethrower is not a melee weapon. It will not disrupt targeting. It just does a lot of damage for no ammo. I am definitely pushing it here. This hull and armor is not what I'd be generally looking to do more exploring with. But, you know, I want to find those new parts. And as you can see, I'm getting crushed. Okay. 2 more hangars. That's cool. Can't take that though. Component crate. Likely to have what I want. But, well, possible, but very unlikely. Not going to take that risk over the gear that I have, that I like. Alright, we're just going to take a peep over here. I have a feeling we won't be able to access what we're looking for. Yeah, it's a shame. Oh, no. Oh, I'm blind. There it is. Our missing supply pod. Oh, we got legs, of course, as we were guaranteed, but not the ones we want. Worse than what we've got to. But we did get the locust legs, which are excellent, so we don't have much to complain about. Alright, let's see if we can take out the group of enemies over here. What do we got? Just 2? These double pistol sprinters are deadly, and I'm not gonna mess with them too much. Let's start level 4. I should be looking out for an orbital strike in my future. Let's see if I can just hunt this guy down without spending too much ammo. Alright. I feel like I hear somebody strutting around. There he is. My claw arm has not been finding much use. Well, that's nice. Okay. Let's use this to repair our biggest bar. And let's get out of here. Our ammo barely survived that encounter. We did get up to a nice respectable 36k, which I'm happy to see. No, thank you. Oh, there it is again. Our beloved torso. Let's take it just for fun. It'll be a nice durability boost, since we'll be able to swap out both of our core parts that contribute most to our durability. Okay, what can we do? Visit the munitions vendor for free. Ooh, giant laser lance for 60k. Maybe there's one in here. That's excellent. A nice ranged option. But I don't think we can be doing that. Okay. Modify. Let's go with these legs. I hope we got enough of the flamethrower and everybody's happy with what they were able to see. But I do not want to end the run earlier than I have to. So we can go all the way. And I can have a chance of hopefully finding those legs. I think the crocodile torso is going to be a bit of a liability for my build right now. It's a dangerous game to be making big pivots like that. You want to make the right pivot. Don't be too rigid. Don't be overly flexible. Let's see. Let's make minimum payments. Just so they don't hate me. And buy one of these. And one of these. I would have loved to pick up this laser lance, but I would have had to do some illegal maneuvers on the debt. So we're gonna leave it behind. What we will do though, let's check out the black market. Oh, I love this torso. Visually, mostly. It's just a shoulder cannon and extra durability. And a bit of extra cooling rate, too. Nothing crazy. Alright, let's sell that. I'm sure you've seen the gun scythe a million times before. And I guess they're trying to really pushing this on me. I've used it too many times though. I always end up falling into the same pattern with these versatile melee ranged weapons, but I want to try and show off as much as I can. Sometimes you get goated items in the premium salvage, but not today. We definitely need to hit a low. Alright, back up to 36k. We can afford a high tier part. We'll probably be checking in with the black market in the next region. Man, I see this tier 2 shotgun all the time, and I never get to see the tier 3. We've still kind of got this dead weight of our tier 1 claw arm hanging off our body, but there's not much we can do to get rid of it. We've got 3 hours left. Not really too much we can do. We could premium salvage and just kind of sell it. And I'm thinking that might be the play. How are our vitals doing? Okay. If our vitals were weak, it might have been smart to repair. But I don't think that's the case. Alright, we're going to premium salvage, pick up a nice high tier item from this, and go straight to the black market and make a sale. Okay. Alright, extra ammo if we go to the forest, loot level 470, 495 if we go over to the canyons. I'm going to go over to the canyons just for the better loot, because I think we got plenty of money to afford all the ammo we want. Okay. Oops, that was a waste. Okay. Now I've got this little rocket booster that's gonna reduce the cost to dash by a pretty significant amount. 25%. And these legs are already one of the cheapest dashing legs in the game. So it's going to make sure we're moving at a nice pace and able to dodge all the shots that we want to dodge, and probably some that we never even needed to dodge in the first place. Alright. That's a lot of enemies. Alrighty. Let's fire into the group. Oh man, the accuracy penalties. Well, not penalties, just the low accuracy of this hybrid weapon. Alright, I think we're pretty much in control. Alright, forests are always, if you're up to the challenge, a nice place to fight. Because the enemy struggles to dash backwards because there's no space. So it can help you kind of pin them up into a bad spot. And let's use what these legs are made to do, which is go fast. Well, his legs were made to go faster, it seems. But that's okay. Let's see. Make sure I don't miss the drop pod. Just another chance of those really cool legs that I want to show off. Cool, we're going to get both drop pods. 2 chances at some really high tier legs. Alright. Give him a stab. I need to eliminate this chip damage for my life. There we go. Cool. Ah. Looks like we failed the first attempt. Excellent legs, though. Would be happy to see those in another run. It's kind of a sprinting, dashing hybrid. Not as good dashing as these guys, but they are faster. That is a shame. Looks like we were not able to find what we were looking for. Our next bet is going to be the shops in the next region. Alright, let's get moving here. If I was using a different lance, you'd be able to see one of the new features, which is the during the set attack, it now kind of aims towards where you're aiming, which is nice for dashing and a lot of other moves that kind of contort your torso and spin you all around. Your lance will just do a better job of staying on target, so your dash ends up where you're aiming, not just, you know, some weird spot in front of your Grandveer that you can't really see because you're zoomed in so much looking at how cool you look from behind. So if I was dashing like a crazy person, it's a nice little feature to make sure that the lance is fully extended out in front of me and impaling my enemies instead of tickling their tootsies. Alright, we're gonna risk it here and see what's over in this in these two hangars. I haven't even hit threat level 3, so I'm feeling pretty confident. Oh, that was a good dodge. Oh my gosh, that's almost exactly what we want to see. But it's not what we need. Okay. Let's grab that. Yeah. Okay. That right there is a nice high tier rifle. We're going to leave the gun lance behind since it's what we did last time, and take this rifle with us. Especially since the gun lance, as fun as it is, its versatility kind of belies its power. It's only a tier 1 weapon. So, when you hit the, or sorry, tier 2. So when you hit those tough spots where you really need to be doing a lot of damage, that's not really what it's for. It's to be able to do damage in a lot of good situations and keep you ammo efficient. Excellent. That's what we want to see. Alright, it's all going to pay off, I swear, for the final mission in which I fly past everything and don't fight it. So, let's see. Component vendor. Not a second chance, that's okay. Munitions vendor. Nope. Alright. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to modify. Put these cool legs on. I'm going to put this cool arm on. Remove this guy. Put this guy on. Mechanic. Modify. No, not modify. Modify parts. Torso. Get our extra shoulder mount. Put on the Berserker plume. And this is going to be pretty good. And now we just go hard on buying ammo. What do we need to buy? We're pretty decent on medium, but we're low on heavy. Let's buy one of each. And probably do some repairs. We could be time efficient and spend the rest of our credits, which we should definitely do. We're ignoring our loans. Let's go to the mechanic, repair. Oh, we're in great shape. We don't need to repair. Marketplace, munitions vendor. Give me heavy ballistic, medium ballistic. Got 1 hour left. I would have loved to do a tune-up, but we definitely needed to buy that ammo, so it wasn't really on the option, on the table. So I guess we'll just pick up another... Let's pick up another medium, because I'm pretty sure this rifle is hungry. And it's going to be our main damage dealer. We'll basically use the shoulder cannon to kind of round out our moments of weakness. That was scary. Okay. Let's take out our enemies. And now you can see the new dash in action. Very similar to the rocket dash if you used that before on the front runners. But this one's a lot more agile. I can boost this way and decide I'm going the other way in the next second. Now I'm pushing my Berserker Plume to the limit with this maneuvering. I would have liked to have the tier 3 variant, I guess, provider of this type of dash. But take what you can get. These, I mean, these are still tier 3 legs, don't get me wrong. So I guess I misspoke there. But the, I like the non-wheeled version of these. They've got slightly more efficiency on the actual dash compared to the wheeled versions, which aren't as efficient on the dash, but they just give you more passive speed in general. Alright, let's take out the fort. Easy peasy. Especially when you're going this fast. Oh, no thank you. Can't do that on the rocket legs. Those only dash forward, so that's your big utility. Oh. Excuse me. No thank you. Alright, let's get out of here while that blows up. See ya. Alright. It's a fun little dash just because it lets you use exactly the amount of heat you want to use, but it does bring its own challenge. Alright, let's stock our ammo back up. Take both of these field centers for sure. Alright, and we are in great shape for our final boss here. Didn't need all the ammo that we desperately spent our money on, but we should be pretty good here. We've got a very ranged, focused build. Probably what's easiest to fight the boss with. Oh, and I'm already doing a bad job. Alright, here's our cover. Oh, that hurt. Got a little greedy there. Berserker plumes will not be up for a pretty long time. So I'm probably making some pretty bad heat management decisions right now. So that's the only thing that's going to be resetting my heat. I'm not a super cooldown oriented build. So let's just try and do some highly efficient dodges so my plume can activate and take me back down. Alright, let's rush him down. His shields are down. Once we get to that last bar, he's going to get a lot more aggressive. And our heat capacity will be put to the test. Alright, he's reloading, and there we go. Power of the new legs put to the test. Alright, thank you so much for watching. If you want to do what I just did, you can go to Steam and download the Granvir demo, give it a wish list if you're excited to see where this can go, but you can play the whole first campaign, do exactly what I did. Alright, I'm the developer of Granvir, and thank you so much for watching.